My older sister Shannon is awesome. She read Nancy Drew with me when I was little, she speaks Japanese, and she's super smart. She was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder a few years ago. Bipolar affects your brain. Usually, people who have it go through severe mood shifts. Shannon and I are pretty close, but I realized I'd never really asked her about having bipolar. So I did, over the phone. Here's what she told me.
I mean, I can remember having a hard time really early on, maybe even in childhood, but it was kind of so normal for me that I didn't really think very much of it. I can remember being a kid and in the winter and feeling like I had to pretend like I was having fun with all the other kids, and really I was wanted to go to sleep all the time, and I didn't want to go sledding, I didn't want to do all those things. I remember having a lot of problems with anxiety and feeling guilty and sad a lot for really no reason. So I went through some really, really severe depressions in my life. Probably the worst happened when I was in college, and then, I truly believed at some points that the whole world would be a better place if I weren't a part of it. I knew in my mind at some level that there were people that cared about me, but I couldn't feel love. I couldn't feel really anything. I couldn't remember any time when I'd ever been happy, and I couldn't imagine that I would ever experience that again. I just felt like I was in this void.
In 2011, Shannon was hospitalized for a while. That was when she finally got a bipolar diagnosis and treatment.
I finally realized, it wasn't my fault that I couldn't get better on my own. It wasn't my fault that I tried all these things and nothing worked. It was just that I hadn't tried the right things, and finally there was a name for what I had, and there was something that somebody could do about it. And it was a relief. It was a huge burden that was lifted off of me. It is better now, partly because it's better controlled and partly because I have more perspective on it. There are some times when I feel like, nobody cares about me. I've never done anything good, But now I realize, hey, that wasn't true the other 5,000 times when I thought that, so it's probably not true now. Over time I've gotten better treatment, and I've also gotten more perspective on it that helps me get through those times.
My sister wishes people understood mental health issues better, and she hopes to help other people with psychiatric disorders as a career.
I work part-time in the hospital, and sometimes I have to, watch patients with psychiatric conditions to make sure they don't hurt themselves. Sometimes in the ER, you'll overhear nurses say things like, I don't have time to see that patient right now. I have people with real medical problems. And you think, this person has a real medical problem. Yeah. It's not anything that necessarily happened in your life. Sometimes it's just your brain doesn't function the right way. Hi, class, and thank you for listening to me, and I hope you learned something.
All right. Thank you, Shannon.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.